Let me bang. I do let you bang. Hey, let me bang you, James, man. I let you bang. I let you bang. Greetings, marriage and virgins.
Go for Jesus. No forget Jesus, people.
Hey, I'm not surprised, motherfuckers.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is time once again for your favorite mixed martial arts podcast. Recording out of Los Angeles, California, it's MMA Roasted with Adam Hunter.
Who the fuck is that guy?
What's up, people? Welcome to a brand new MMA Roasted podcast. It's me. I'm here with Greg Wilson and Don Frye, whose internet sounds amazing, which is awesome. I hope I just didn't jinx it, but it's great.
You definitely just jinxed it.
There's no dog fighting ring going on right now, which is awesome.
Ilber, and
oh, now you're fucking with me.
Yeah. That was pretty good, though. I was like, this is really, this is pretty good. This is a good, clever impression.
Now, Greg, is that a T-shirt for you for what you went through? Wow, you're that's amazing. You actually almost died of a heart attack, and now you have T-shirts. And are you selling those? Are you selling those at shows and stuff?
No. This was a gift from another comic named Sam Grody, a female comic named Sam Grody.
Oh, because I think that'd be great for you, man. I think that's actually like a great. I think you should like patent that shirt. Because yeah. Because, by the way, Don, I saw pictures of you, Don.
It says it has like a cardiac, monitor reading, and it says, "And I'm back."
Yeah.
Great. I'm glad, man. I'm glad.
Thank you,
but I have something. I do have a complaint. When I picked you up in Tucson a couple months back, I've been missing my watch ever since I gave you a ride in the truck. So.
It was definitely me. As the only Hispanic in the vehicle, it must have been me.
That is hilarious. Now, Don, I saw you at the fights. It seemed like people were taking pictures of you, having a great time. You
were there?
No, I saw pictures of you on like your Instagram. Whoever runs your Instagram posted it. And it seemed like everybody wanted a picture. Even Poirier. I mean, not even Gaethje wanted a picture with you.
What is that like hard to believe? Fuck.
No.
It's like, hey, look, people actually want a picture with you, you old bastard.
He is kind of a Hall of Famer, so
of course. Now, by the way, on different notice, I had to mail a ticket. I got one of those camera tickets. Those shouldn't even be legal, man, because I feel like you get pulled over by a cop, it's you versus the cop. When you go through a red light or something or make a turn and something else takes a picture of you, I feel like that's like cheating. I don't think you should get a ticket for that. But people say you don't have to.
You know what?
What?
You don't pay it. Don't pay it, because I read that the company, or actually I heard on the radio, the company who is in charge of those is 95% of the money. The city doesn't even get it, And all you gotta do is say not right on the back of it, not me, not my car, and mail it back to them.
That's what I heard. But then I heard people. I Googled it. They say California, you don't have to pay them, and other people say, well, I didn't pay it, and then my license got suspended and went to like $2,000. So I'm like, it's a $500 ticket, which is ridiculous. I actually,
oh my God,
like 10 years ago, I actually just went through a red light, and then, or I was like halfway through and the camera went off. But it's like, and it wasn't even a red light. It was like a rolling stop. Like, you make a right on like red. I didn't come to a complete stop. I slowed down and then made a right, and it said I didn't make a complete stop. So they got $500 and something.
My car. Not my car.
Dude, that's what I said. But then all of a sudden you go to court, right? Because they had a picture of you in the mail, of you like this, and it's kind of fuzzy. Like, if this isn't you could beat it. I went to court 10 years ago. It was a glossy, like 9x30 picture I've ever seen. Like every zit I've ever had.
You should ask him if you could have that for your promo photo.
Yeah, I was going to say, he used it as his headshot for the next 10 years.
Dude, one time I went to court again and for one of them, and they said not guilty. And I go, why? Like I was so, I'm like, who cares why? Get out of here. But I was like, no.
Yeah.
But yeah. So
you have white privilege, boy.
Dude, I got two of those. I got two of those, Greg. 500.
Where were you, dude? Where'd you get them?
I got them in Canoga and like Sherman Way. And like,
out of the valley. God damn it.
And some people say you don't have to pay them. Other people say you do. I don't know what to do.
I would go there because how can the camera, if it took a picture of you, how can it prove that you didn't come to a stop? That's what I want to know.
Dude, and then I went on the LA court website and there it is. So I'm like, I guess it is a real ticket.
Is it a video or is it just a picture? Because you would need
right.
If it's just a picture, again, how does that picture prove that you didn't come to a full stop before that picture was taken? I'd go in there and I'd find it, be like, I came to a full stop. I don't know why it says I didn't, because I did. And that's it. Show me video that says I didn't.
I hired one of those companies. I hired a company that says like for $100, we'll actually beat this for you. So we'll see if this works.
Yeah, they're not going to do that.
I'll let you know if this works.
I've used one of those companies before, and all they do is they go there and hope that the cop doesn't show up or whatever. And then they're like, oh, we tried. Sorry, you got to pay it. So but you end up paying it, plus they're fucking $130 or whatever. Those ticket clinic guys, the total ripoffs, dude.
Really?
Those guys, they don't do shit. They just hope to get lucky. And especially against maybe you think they know some extra trick, like they're going to go in there and actually defend you, and they don't. They just show up for you and like not guilty. He's like, based on what? Like, because you're not guilty, and then they just charge you anyway.
Dude, I saw a bill.
Go in there. Go in there.
Yeah.
No, go in there, demand that your white privilege be used, and you get to walk out the ticket. You know.
No, you go in there, you shit, you eat a piece of your own shit, and you plead insanity.
Dude, yeah, I saw a billboard one time that says even if you didn't, doesn't mean you're guilty. It was like some lawyer.
Yeah,
I love it. That's a great slogan. Put that up. I hope he's a divorce lawyer.
Yeah, that's true. Absolutely, buddy. I'll tell you.
All right, let's talk about the fights that went on. First of all, we'll go for the main event down. The Justin Gaethje fight, man, like Gaethje is such a fun fighter to watch, and I thought he was going to win. Like when he dropped,
yes,
I was like, he's winning this, but he fights so like there was a time where he stopped fighting like a maniac and he started fighting smart, and he started really winning. But since then he's gone back to like, let's just have the craziest fight I could ever have, and he kind of, I wouldn't say he let the guy off the hook, but like if he would have just slowed down and not thrown every single punch with his hands down, going punch for punch, he might have actually won that fight. And people are saying, oh, well, Khabib versus what's his name? Oliveira. I'm like, Khabib's not dumb enough to fight like that. Khabib wins that fight against Oliveira because he doesn't take the same amount of risk that Justin Gaethje and Michael Chandler take. Don, you were there. What did you think of that fight?
It was fantastic while it lasted. I was on my feet like everybody else, when he knocked him down. I thought, holy shit. But, I mean, Oliveira is just a different kind of animal. You got to give him props. I mean, there's nothing you can take away from that man. Nothing. Except they didn't make weight.
yeah, you take half his purse away and apparently his title. So...
Yeah, I mean, I'm
that
not.
Was the strangest thing. Why do you vacate just because you didn't make weight? You lose the title. I can understand where maybe it's not on the line because of that or something, but I don't understand how he automatically loses it because he didn't make.
UFC bullshit. They run that kind of scam for years now, and it's just their way or the highway, and they just want to. They want to treat fighters like subservients, and they do. And they get away with it because they're the only game in town. So, props for them because they can do what they want.
Well, I mean, my opinion on that is this. If he were to miss weight by 3 pounds, I think there should be a cutoff, right? Like you miss weight by more than 3 pounds, you lose the title, but a 0.5 of a pound, come on, man. And a lot of people...
And not only that, but I mean, this is an organization that's essentially just one guy who makes up all the rules.
There were 3 scales, and he made it on 2 of the scales.
That's my God.
That's also that everybody that weighed in was 0.5 over, they said. So that's the thing. It's like, I see if you miss weight by 3 or more pounds, you go, okay, fine. That's a big advantage. I don't think he's having that big of an advantage of 0.5 of a pound. I honestly don't think that's like... You know,
no, but it does make a difference. Come on, man, you wrestled. You know, if you're busting your ass for that last half pound, the other guy better have done it too.
100. No, I understand that, Don. I totally get it. And he must have been completely depleted for them not to say you have a half hour. You could do another 0.5. I mean, put on 3 rubber suits, go in the sauna, jump, whatever they could have done to him. So he must have been totally depleted. At the same time, for a title shot, that's a big. I mean, but does it even matter? I mean, everyone thinks he's the champion, so he doesn't get to hold the belt. Now he gets the interim belt. It's still a huge fucking belt. I mean, no one's going to look at it and go, that's the interim belt versus the belt.
Yeah.
Right.
No.
So, I mean, I don't know. I mean, yeah.
It's just a way for them to make more money, to have an extra belt for fighters to fight for. And then, you know, they have the interim champ fight the real champ. You know, it's just a scam. It's a money scam.
Now, the Carla Esparza Rose nomination.
Oh my God!
Now, don't even say the word fight. Don't even say the word fight.
I mean,
it wasn't. It was a staring contest.
I said there were more fights.
It looked like Dan Severn. It looked like Severn versus Shamrock 2. You know, in Detroit in UFC 9.
But wasn't there like rules attached to that fight? Some crazy rule, right? Didn't that fight have special rules?
No. It was supposed to be, you know, no close fist punching. Okay. And John McCarthy would come in there into the locker room and said, no close fist punching. And I said, what the fuck you talking about? And he says, now, you will be fined some amount someday, eventually, somewhere, you know?
So go for it, guys.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, so the Carla Esparza fight, like I said, there were more punches thrown at the Oscars. I mean, that was like, you know, I'm not saying that fight shit the bed, but it was Amber Heard fight of the night. It was insane. that was. I don't understand. I mean, I don't even know if I blame Carla for that fight because she clearly had the disadvantage in striking, right? So everyone seemed like they were more mad at Rose for that fight because they knew how potential Rose had. Not that Carla doesn't have huge potential. There's just something weird with Rose Namajunas when she walks into the octagon going, I'm the best. It's almost like she's part of a cult or something. And then she gets in there and Pat Barry is telling her she's doing great.
That was the fucked up part, was that Pat Barry was the whole time going, that's great. You hear those boos? That's perfect. We're doing and never was he like, okay, well, at some point we got to fight. Like he was like encouraging the non-fighting and then she lost her title because of it. She should break up with him and fire him or whatever.
Absolutely. And hire Don Frye.
That's right.
Don, what would you have told Rose if you were working her corner?
I had told her step 3 fucking feet closer to the bitch and throw something, you know?
Yeah.
Either throw something or stick your chin out so you go out on your shield. But this is a shit. You're taking this shit in the middle of the fucking ring or cage and can't you hear the crowd?
I mean,
and 5 rounds of it. The best was Keith Peterson. Clearly just making plans in his mind. Like you could see him just thinking about, he was just walking casually around like, I wonder where I'm going to have dinner later. I can't wait to have a cigarette. Like, I mean, he just was so...
He took an edible before the fight or something.
Yeah, he was just bored. Yeah, that was the ref. Yeah.
I mean, I don't understand okay, so Carla got the takedown in the 3rd round. You gave her the 3rd. You gave her the 4th, probably the 3rd, maybe on a takedown. The 5th, I think, went to Rose. I think first 2 were like, it was completely not eventful. It was almost like Carla didn't want to get fucked up because she had a wedding the next week. And I was like, you know what?
She was waiting for her opportunities to wrestle. That's all she wanted to do. She did not want to strike. And so she was just waiting. And Rose just didn't engage with her at all. And then so they just, it was so crazy. And I love the arc of the commentary too. The guys going, okay, good feeling out round. You can see it. And then the 2nd round, like, all right, well, I think they're going to have to, you know, maybe do a little more. Like in the 3rd round, they're like, all right, you know, how Keith Peterson is not telling them they like the commentary just arced into this is ridiculous. This is the worst thing. What a just
it was hilarious. I mean, at one point Cormier was like, we got to run this back. And Rogan's like, Who wants to see this again?
Yeah, like at the end, they were just like, this is the worst fight we ever. I mean, that had to be the worst way to lose your title since the Aljamain fight when he won it on an eye poke. At least those guys were fighting.
It wasn't an eye poke.
They didn't
it was
even
an illegal knee.
fight.
It was an illegal knee. It was a knee to the head.
Right. Oh, that's right. The illegal knee. Yeah.
I mean, but
come on.
At least they were fighting.
I mean, if you're Carla, do you feel good? Don, if you're Carla, do you feel good about this win?
Absolutely.
What's that?
If you're Carla, do you feel good about getting the title this way?
Fuck no. No, you don't feel. All you feel good about is the money you get for the next fight because you're the theoretical champion. You know, you have the belt.
I think the opposite. I think for Carla, it was a win-win. She's like, look, I'm completely untouched. I'll look great for my wedding, and I'm the champion. I get to wear this belt at the fucking reception. Like, for her, everything went the way she possibly could have gone. Limited engagement, no damage. She feels great and walked out with the fucking belt for doing nothing.
Yeah, but at the same time, she probably reads the comments. Every one of her Instagram comments is like, it starts off the first 5 of her friends, like, great job, champ. And then people are like, what fight? That was horrible. You know, like I want my money back. Truth.
You know, I mean, there's no reason to have any satisfaction in that fight at all, except that you didn't get touched, you know?
Yeah, at the same time, I feel like people were blaming Rose a lot more than Carla.
Absolutely.
Well, you know what? That's bullshit because Carla knows how to step in there and take a shot. You know, I mean, shoot a double leg or a single leg. I mean, she knows how to make the penetration without getting a hit. So it's both the damn faults.
But the difference is Carla at least did that once per round. Right. Whereas Rose did nothing. So, I mean, it's the comparison. And you know who's really got it? I mean, Rose, this has got to be the worst week of her life. Sunday must have been the worst day of her life, you know, because everyone tried to tell. I mean, there's no consoling someone when she did what she was told by her trainers. And but then somehow, I mean, she lost her title for nothing.
But I hate to say it, though. I hate to say it, but I feel like if they break up, Pat and Rose, it's going to be a shitstorm. Like, we're going to find out a lot of weird stuff went on, or some kind of weird. It's just like, absolutely. It's one of those relationships where she was like, what, 14 or 17 when they met? But we don't even know. And it does seem like the coach was like, didn't want to step on Pat's toes. Like, the coach wanted to tell Rose, you're losing this fight. You're blowing it. What the fuck you doing? But Pat was like, great job. So the coach, totally. It seemed like there was some weird power struggle in that corner.
Yeah, no, clearly the coach knew that Pat had her ear, so he didn't want to override whatever he was saying, but he was trying to at the end, but you got to get something, you know, he was trying to get a little something in there, but he was letting Barry say the whole fucking thing, and he kept encouraging it, and he cost her the fucking, he's to blame. Yeah,
I mean, Pat Barry's been around a long time. He was a kickboxer, and he knows that you can't win a round by not throwing punches. I mean, the first 2 rounds, there was literally no punches thrown. It was crazy. I've never seen anything like that before. It was almost like they had a bet or something, or they're like, hey, you know, UFC, we're going to strike. We want more money. These are the fights you're going to get. It was something really weird was going on.
They've been on Garza.
Yeah, I mean, that was, you know what, though? It was so bad that I was happy because now I could use that as a punchline for a lot of jokes. You know, like the next person who gets arrested has to do community service or to watch Carla Rose too. You know, like there's all kinds.
And that's the thing. It is going to be the standard bearer for the worst title fight, if not the worst. And you have, non-fight because it's not even a fight. There was no fight. No. They got in there for 5 rounds. That was nothing, not 3 rounds, 5 fucking rounds.
At the same time, I'm happy for Carla. I like Carla. Carla's a friend. So I'm happy she got the belt. But it was weird, though, because to go from that to Gaethje, didn't you feel like you were like in like a dream or something? Like you were just in like 2 different kind of movies. Like you watched like The Notebook followed by Fast and
Apocalypse Now.
like it just felt like I was in a daze. And don't get me wrong. So I did another one of those things where I'm like 25 push-ups on Carla. I bet on Carla because I had a feeling she was going to win. I don't know why. So I feel like all this shit with Pat and Rose is like coming out to the surface now. So I just feel like some shit's going on, like Dom playing with his dog. And And so I had a feeling this was going to happen. And people, they make these bets and they don't do the push-ups. Or they just DM me the video because they know I'm going to fuck with them. Like people are doing push-ups and I'm making fun of their look or what's behind them. Or I'm like, good luck with the trend. So anyway.
All I could think was, damn it, he called it again. You are so good. When it comes to women's championship fights, you have this strange niche of being absolutely right when it comes to calling women's champion. And it isn't all of them, but every now and again, you're like, I think so-and-so, and you're definitive.
That's how he identifies.
He identifies as a female fighter.
Number two, there's no money involved. It's just push-ups. If I put money on it, I'm going to lose. But it was to me, anyway, so Michael Chandler, Tony Ferguson. That fight, I felt so bad for Tony Ferguson because he looked so good in the first round. He looked so good that I'm like, maybe he is back. Maybe those last two fights.
I thought that for a second too. I was like, oh, maybe this is his big comeback.
And he looked so good in that first round. He dropped him. He it was amazing. Even from bottom, he was elbowing. He got up. He was happy. There was something really vintage about that. And then he had that kick to the fucking face that I don't even know how you train for that. I don't even know anybody in sparring that's doing that kick to you where you could see that coming. I feel like that kick.
Dude, that's the first fucking kick you learn in karate class.
Really?
Yeah. Straight kick to the face.
Yeah.
Yes, that's the first fucking elementary thing you fucking learn after you learn how to put on your gi and tie your ubi.
But you almost never see it land to a knockout.
Yeah, you have. It happened to Couture. It happened to
Anderson Silva.
The Phenom. Down there.
Right, it's happened. It's happened before, but the reason why you're able to name it is because it hasn't happened that often. You don't see it that often.
But it was funny because it was literally the first strike of the second round.
So you think Don Ferguson should have been able to see that coming?
Well, one would hope. I mean, he's a fucking professional, but it's a fast. It is a very fast kick. You know, it's a very fast strike. You can't. So I mean, it's just like saying you should see every uppercut or every hook or every jab. You can't see everything that's coming your way.
It seemed like it came out of nowhere. It just seemed like it was like one of those things where it came out of nowhere and it's not known what Chandler's known for. And I felt bad for Tony because the way he fell, and good for Chandler for not following up because he could have.
Hey, I was impressed with that. That shows class.
Yeah, he went over him. You stood over him for a second. Like, should I? No, I'm not going to.
Yeah, especially when your adrenaline's that high.
Right.
So cool. Good on Chandler for not.
He said it too. He said
fight etiquette, man.
Yeah.
He said Ferguson holds his hands out wide. He knew that middle lane was going to be open. And if you go back and look at it, that's true. His hands were out here, especially that left. It was out pretty wide, and it just left that middle lane right open for him, man. That foot went right down Main Street, boy. But the way that Tony was knocked out, how out he was, made me concerned as to whether or not he should fight anymore. That kind of being out like that for that duration, I don't know if you should be in there anymore. I don't know how many.
The thing was, it's such a tough call because he looked so good in the first round. Like if you face the first round, you're like, give the guy 5 more fights. Holy shit.
Right.
Second round, you're like, don't even walk for 2 months. Like take it some time off. So based on the first round, I would say, yeah, he's guy looked amazing. Second round, it was, by the way, they all called out Conor McGregor, who looked
was hilarious the way everyone
seen Conor McGregor now?
Conor McGregor.
Have you seen Conor McGregor right now?
No.
All right. Let me feel like
is he roided up and he jacked up? What is he?
Oh my God. I mean, he's got to be he's not that tall, but I would say he's at least 200 pounds of muscle. I mean,
wow,
fucking huge. McGregor is, and he's happy about it too. I don't know how. He's definitely not getting down to 145. I don't think he can get down to 155.
Well, Chandler said he'd meet him at 170.
Yeah, at 170, Chandler, I would love to watch that fight, but man, he looked big. I mean, I don't even understand like what he's thinking. Because he's
retired. He's retired.
Yeah, exactly.
He's got $100 million, and he doesn't have anything to worry about.
Yeah,
No,
and I
'cause he
think
said
the
he
other
wants to
guys
come
are just
back.
thinking that's the fight that'll make them the most money.
Yeah, I mean, no, because he says he wants to come back, though. He says he wants.
I want to come back. I want to come back. What the fuck does
Everybody
that mean?
wants to come back. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, the thing about McGregor, though, is like one of the things that he made him so great was how, like, you know, fluid he was and how quick he was and how guys couldn't stop his, you know, all the stuff he was doing. And now it's like, I don't know how fast he's going to be, but like a bodybuilder. You know, it's just one of the.
Oh my God. Yeah. 2 days. He is jacked. He's looked. Who does he look like? He looks like somebody else. He's so big.
Can you see, Don, can you see, can you put your camera on or no?
No, I don't know what the hell's wrong with this phone partner. I really don't.
All right. So yeah, Greg, look at him.
Yeah. Yeah. That's the image. That's one of the images I was just like, yeah, he's huge.
Like, yeah.
He definitely needs to fight one of the Paul brothers because that's who he's built for right now.
Yeah. I mean,
I bet that fight happens.
I hope it does. I would love it.
I hope it does in MMA, but in boxing, I almost think Jake Paul beats him. I hate to say it, but McGregor has him in boxing.
What are you talking about? Conor McGregor went 12 rounds with the greatest boxer ever. Come on.
That's true.
He did do that, but that was like, you wonder, people say that Mayweather was sort of carrying him. I don't know if that's true or not.
Really? You think so? Do you think so? God damn.
Yeah, Mayweather waited until the 7th round to start fighting in that one. He was like, okay, I think they've got their money's worth.
Well, allegedly, he also like put a ton of money on him winning in the 10th or something, and the fight went over 10. Like it was one of those like, who knows? By the way, OSP versus Shogun, they should thank Carla and Rose because before that,
yeah, no kidding.
Like that was a terrible fight. They got
Shogun looked like he'd been training in a bakery.
I mean, what did you think of that fight, Don?
I thought it was a shit, man. I think whoever the coaches and trainers and the fight strategists are for these fighters on this card, they all need to find a new career. It's just pathetic.
See, but on paper, though, it looked like it was going to be fantastic. On paper, I was like, oh, this is a great card, you know, especially if they would have been able to hold together the Cowboy Cerrone fight. Although the Randy Brown Chaos Williams fight was still pretty decent.
Before we get to that, right? So before that fight, so Cowboy was sick. You guess he was thrown up all night. So he put in an interview that like, let me see if I can get the exact verbiage. So I don't want to misquote him, but it really kind of bothered me about it because he said before the McGregor fight, he goes, I don't know. He goes, I didn't want to be there. He goes, it was the first fight he had where he just wanted out, right? He's like, you know what? I didn't want to be there. I'm in the thing. So he goes, so as soon as McGregor gave me an opportunity, I left. He goes, which basically says like, he kind of didn't throw the fight, but he quit. He goes, and I have to live with that every day. And then people were like, hey man, that's so brave. And that's so nice. Other people were like, so you threw the fight? I mean, but people paid a lot of money for that fight. I mean, they paid like, it was the main.
Yeah, it was a panties night for him at the barn house, you know, shit. Come on. He made a lot of money. He got, you know, the old lady broke out the red panties. You know,
red panty night.
Yeah, my old lady wore the red panties every night. Of course, it was for somebody else, but
and you know, I just sort of like,
night.
Man, that really bothered me. First of all, Stephen A. Smith said he quit, and then everyone kind of jumped on Stephen A. Smith. He goes, okay, so this is what he said. He goes, I didn't even want to go out there. He says,
this is about the Conor fight, or this is last night?
On the McGregor fight. The biggest eyes, millions watching my moment, and I didn't want to be there. I cannot answer that any clearer. It was a strange feeling, he said. He goes, when I was in the back, I didn't even want to go out there. So when Conor gave me the door, I took it. That was my inner bitch. I took the door. Let's get out of here. It's that easy. It's that easy in a fight to get out. And I took it. I have to live with that every day. And like, on one hand, I think it's very, honorable that he's being honest about it. But on the other hand, it's like, well, people paid like $100 to see that. You made $1 of that. And I just don't feel like that's like, I get you let yourself down, but you also let everyone down. Like and you made McGregor look like a fucking $1 billion fighter, which he was, because he hasn't won since that fight too.
Yeah.
And I just sort of like, I just, it's like if I had a huge comedy show, I don't feel like being here. So I just fucking walked off. It's just, what? No, you owe it to
you know what? It sounds like a fucking excuse. It sounds like an excuse for losing to me, you know?
That's what I was thinking, Don. It's real easy to say that after you got knocked the fight. I mean, he got beat up in that fight.
You think
right.
so? He got elbow strike. He got elbow strike. And then he just sort of, I wouldn't say faked an injury, but he looked way too much injured. Then the next fight, he was taking bombs and didn't go anywhere. He looked like he could take the guy he fought the next fight. Well, it did look fixed. The Conor one looked fixed. It looked like he was paid to take a dive because he let him beat him up. I remember that. I remember saying that on this show, being like, they gave him money because he didn't put up much of a fight. He really didn't. He let Conor wail on him, and then but I mean, to say that, I don't know. I think after you go out and say that, then I don't think you should get any more fights. I think you got to get the fuck out. That's the thing. It's like, and I like Cowboy, he's a friend of mine, but I heard that and I was like, really, man? Like you just took that just disappointed me. And I understand it disappointed him too, but it disappointed me because I disappointed everyone that paid for that and everybody that believed in him, because it's like, I get it, bro, but you owe it to everybody and you owe it to yourself the most. And he has to live with it. And I get it. Sometimes people do quit on themselves. Right. But you don't want to be there. And then he gives you an out. Then you're like, I'm fucking out of here. I don't know. It just, something didn't sit with me on that. Right. I hate to say it. And maybe he shouldn't even be telling people that.
He shouldn't be telling people that, because we were already postulating that he had fucking quit or that he took a dive. So, and then he goes out there and confirms it. And then they give him another fight. Like, come on. What is happening? Fight. Don, what do you think about that?
If you're only getting paid $30,000, then you give them a $30,000 fight. But if you're getting paid $1 million, you give them $1 million fight. You know,
right?
You fucking live up to what your paycheck is, and I understand quitting if you're getting a $30,000 check.
Don, you never quit a day in your life, Don. There wasn't a fight. You wouldn't quit for $5. You wouldn't quit for free. Fuck that. Come on, man.
I did.
When?
I ain't going to talk about it, but I did. I'll talk to you one day about it.
Oh, okay. Wow. That's a revelation. I mean, and that's the thing. It comes down to sports psychology. I mean, these are just humans. They are people. They can find themselves in not a good place to actually want to fight. That's fine. I think you don't go out there and say it afterwards. After everybody,
like he had a panic attack or an anxiety. If he said, "Listen, man, I was in there. I had a fucking panic attack. I'm kind of a mental case and I have issues," I'd almost be like, whatever. But he goes, "That was my inner bitch." Maybe the way he phrased it, it was just like, what? I don't know. But I also feel like, who knows? It just that just something about that was like, huh? I just didn't. I don't know. Maybe.
You got to question whether or not. I don't think they should keep giving him fights. He's turned into basically, one of these, veteran stepping stone guys that they put guys against.
Journeyman,
Yeah, I think they should just cut him loose.
But he's won. I mean, yeah, but since that fight, he's won. What's his record since that fight? What's up, people? Football might be over for the season, but basketball is in full steam for both pro and college hoops. From the latest odds, totals, player performance props, to where the next fired coach is going to land, BetOnline is the #1 spot for all your sports betting needs. Now head over to their website or use your mobile device to sign up today and receive your 50% welcome bonus on your first deposit. Just use promo code CLNS50 to get started. It's not just basketball. BetOnline is your source for hockey, boxing, and UFC odds, right to the Olympic coverage. And it's the best in the business, okay? From sports right down to your favorite Vegas casino games, BetOnline is your #1 online wagering destination. BetOnline, the fastest and easiest way to wager on all your favorite sports and play your favorite games. BetOnline, where the game starts. I mean, he's won a bunch of fights after that. That wasn't like his last fight. So the one thing that was the fight he had last week. But since then, he fought Alex Morano. He got knocked out in one round. Okay. He beat Nico Price. He lost to Anthony Pettis after that, unanimous. But the Nico Price fight, he looked fucking great in that fight. Yeah, I get it. I mean, he's 0-1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He's 0-6 in his last fights. His last 6. Well, Nico Price was overturned. I think it was a draw or something.
And now he apparently it was food poisoning. Which, come on, food poisoning is, my dog ate my homework of everybody's day job. Anytime you go to fucking food poisoning, I ate so I don't know what it was. Like, come on, what did you eat? What? Nah, I'm not buying it.
Go to the hospital, get a shot, and then fucking man up, put your gloves on.
I feel like I'm in a hard position right now because there's people that I like as people, and then it's hard for me to give an honest assessment. But
listen, I like him too. I've always been a fan of Cerrone. I just think that I just think where he's at right now isn't good, and he needs to stop fighting. I think he needs to stop fighting. I think Tony Ferguson needs to stop fighting. I think there are just some guys that you need to pull the plug for them.
The fact that they were advertising his movie with Gina Carano on the Daily Wire.
Featuring the guy who didn't show up tonight because he's got food poisoning. Big time movie coming out on Daily Wire.
Daily Wire is making movies? Like, it's on their website? Like, why would it go to the theater? I mean, it looks like a pretty good movie, to be honest. But why
isn't it on Netflix or Amazon? It does look like a pretty good Western. I mean, it looks like it's going to be pretty violent, aggressive Western. I mean, it's probably going to be pretty good. But yeah, for some reason, it's not on any. I was like, you couldn't buy any distributor. You're distributing it you're just releasing it on your own website. Makes no sense. It's kind of
weird to isn't that a little strange? You're gonna watch it on your computer or your phone or something. If I want to watch a movie, I'm gonna sit down on my couch with my wife.
Yeah,
for a movie. I'm not gonna go Daily Wire to see how Trump's doing and then watch a Western. It's
maybe they're trying to branch out.
They are, which I think is kind of cool. It's just like Daily Wire Films or something presents, and then the movie you can watch on Amazon. It's just weird to have Ben Shapiro's column followed by the movie. It's just something a little strange about it. I'm all for it. Don't get me wrong. I'm all for the movie. It's just a little strange that it was just on the Daily Wire website. That's a little bit odd.
Yeah, that's where they're releasing it. It looks like it's a well-made movie. I don't understand why there's all these distribution platforms to release it. I mean, I can see it, being available at some point on their website, but to release it on your website seems silly.
Yeah. Well, how do you get Daily Wire on your TV to watch a movie?
If you have a smart TV, I mean, you just go to the browser, you can go to the website and queue it up. But I mean,
I'm not that great when it comes to that kind of shit.
Yeah, it just seems like it's an odd, like we couldn't find anybody else to release it, so we're just releasing it ourselves. That's what it makes it feel like. Whether or not that's true, I don't know, but that's what it feels like.
Yeah,
maybe that's the point.
No, I like it. I think it looks like a great movie. And Gina Carano, by the way, I met her a bunch of times, is the nicest human being. She's such a sweetheart, Gina Carano. I don't think she should have been fired from Star Wars.
I don't think she should have been either. I don't think I've never agreed with cancel culture. I think it's just mob mentality of another name. That's all it is.
Right.
And it's not fair. And again, it goes against freedom of speech. Okay, you don't like what she said, fine, but you're going to fire her over it like that's too far. That's too far.
The Randy Brown fight, by the way, was a great fight. That was a fight and a half.
Good fight.
That was a great fight. Chaos Williams. I mean, it was a close fight. I don't know who won. I think Randy won, but it was very, very close.
Randy Brown, when he comes out for the second round, the difference between Randy Brown in the first round and the second round, in the first round, he was clearly worried about getting his lights knocked out by this kid. Yeah. And then in the second round, he reminded me of, when the braces fall off of Forrest Gump's legs and he's like, I can run. That was Randy Brown in the second round. He was like, I can do this. His attitude changed. He was smiling and shit. Everything changed for him in the second round.
We just talk about Forrest Gump. He at the end Jenny had AIDS, right?
Yes.
And then she had sex with him because they have a kid. So does he have AIDS at the end? It never was clear. Did he get AIDS too?
Well, she might not have had AIDS when they had sex.
Right.
So because they had sex and then she disappears for a few more years. And then eventually at the very end, and the kid's 4 years old and she's like, oh, by the way, I'm got AIDS and this is your kid. So
if she didn't get AIDS, he would never have known he had a kid?
Quite possibly.
That's
She was like, listen, I wasn't going to tell you because, you're an idiot, but, I got AIDS. So here's your kid.
Don't you think that like someone in the writing room could have been like, you know what, maybe we should leave the AIDS part out or she could have got cancer. I mean,
and they never really say that it's AIDS. They just say she has a virus and they don't know what it is and there's no cure for it. So they only allude to it.
Got it. Trinaldo won his fight against Danny. I mean, that dude, I don't know what he's taking. It seems like these Brazilians, since COVID happened, I don't know if they're getting tested.
Oh my God. No kidding.
How is he 44 years old looking like that? I mean,
I was like, his intro song should have been Old Man River.
It's unbelievable.
Old Man River.
The Macy Chasen fight, that could have went either way.
Oh, that was awful. That was lame. How did she win that for just leaning on the other girl for 3 rounds? I fucking hated that decision.
I felt so bad for Matt Schnell because I know the guy, and his mom passed away like last week. And then he comes in there and he's fighting like a fucking maniac. And then he gets like submitted. And it's like, oh man.
Yeah, he was in there for like 3 minutes and he won like 2 minutes and 55 seconds of it. And that just got, Brandon, that submission. I mean, he's an anaconda in there. You got to give Brandon Royval credit because he was getting his ass beat. And then, I mean, his submission game it's scary. It's scary.
The heavyweight fight was great. Ivanov versus.
No, it wasn't.
It was good. They were training. What did you think, Don, of the heavyweight fight? The Ivanov versus.
Were you there for that at that point? It was at the prelims.
I don't think so. That wasn't on the main event card, right?
No. It was like at the beginning of the prelims.
Yeah, no, a couple other fights in the prelims. Tracy Cortez was like the hottest girl ever. I think the other girl fell in love with her because she kept staring at her the whole time. I think she's so hot that she just didn't want to hurt her. Like she wanted a number or something from Melissa Gatto because Tracy was just wrestling. I don't understand because she literally has, I heard, no wrestling background. Her brothers were great wrestlers. She's just a tough little sister they used to beat up all the time. And now she's like a great fighter. She's 10-1. She's killing it. Lupi Godinez.
Yeah, she won, huh? Look at that. Way to go, Lupi.
And my buddy Journey, who I know, who's a guy that was like in 3 different youth homes as a kid. His mom, I think, smoked crack. His father was a boxer, kept losing custody of the 3 babies. And now he's look great. He was the first card out there. And I like that guy a lot. So happy. Bellator, you watch Bellator at all?
No.
No.
Okay. So Ryan Bader beat Czech Congo in France. He won by TKO. He won 50. He won every single round by wrestling. Like France used to be, I mean, it was illegal in France for a long time. It may be illegal again based on how boring this fight was, but give it to Bader. I mean, he knew he was better at wrestling. At every single round, he took Congo down and laid on him. Like he knew that was going to happen. That's what he did. And he won every single round.
I got to be honest. If you didn't watch and report on these fights, no one would know what happened.
Yoel Romero won his fight.
Hey, Yoel. Yeah. Romero.
It was one of the funniest things. It was like he had 35 seconds of activity in each round of like old man crazy strength. And he just did that and knocked the guy out. But he just waited the whole fight, just staring at him. And he was like, okay, go. And then it was pretty awesome. But yeah.
That's how you win rounds.
So that's what, and then Kayla Harrison in the PFL won her fight. It seems like the UFC guys, by the way, are taking a lot more serious. Like Anthony Pettis won his fight. Rory McDonald won his fight because at first they were going over there like, oh, these PFL guys, they're still not going to be any good. And they lost last year, except for, I think it was Rory lost to somebody else. I forgot the guy's name, but Pettis looked great in his fight. And so did Rory. And Kayla Harrison won every minute of her fight, but was mad at herself because she didn't stop the girl. But the girl was like fighting not to lose. She wasn't fighting to win. It's hard to beat a girl that just is there to survive. You ever fight a guy, Don, that was there to survive?
Hell. I don't know. I can't remember.
Yeah. Yeah, it was one of those things.
I feel like everyone that gets in the ring with Don is just fighting to survive.
Yeah, that's kind of what it was. Nate Diaz has been tweeting out lately. He's on a tear. So last night, Nate Diaz wrote, let's see what he wrote. Nate Diaz, he wrote, For the record, I would choke Oliveira easy. Kazmits, he goes KMZ, Kamzits, KMZITS, and Connor are on the injured pussy list. So I don't know why they talking shit when they broken. That's what he said.
Kamzits? Who is it? Who are you talking about?
Chimaev.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Kamzits and Connor on the injured pussy list. I guess they injured their pussies. So that's what Nate Diaz wrote to his 2 million followers. And he says he's fighting July 30th at 170. I don't know who he's fighting. I mean, kind of cool though. Chandler versus Nate Diaz could be. I mean, anyone that versus Nate Diaz would be kind of fun. So
yeah, especially since he thinks he can just submit all these guys so easily. Like, all right, let's see it. Put them in there. I mean, listen, those guys sell tickets. It's great for the sport, and they always put up a great fight. So let's see it.
And then this week it's Invicta. Emily Ducote is fighting Alicia Zapatella, who's like super hot. She's like tattooed. She's got a bunch of cool pics. And then Chelsea Chandler, who trains with the 209 guys, fighting Courtney King. That's out of Kansas. This week, Bellator. Good fight in Bellator. Logan Storley, who's 13-1, 4-time All-American. He beat Naaman Gracie his last fight, which was a good fight. His only loss was to Amasov, who's split. It was a close fight. He actually could have won. He's fighting MVP, who's undefeated. Who's 20-1. That should be a good fight. MVP versus Logan Storley. He lost one fight to Douglas Lima, but he got knocked out a long time ago. So that's it. Bellator this week, live from England. And Lyoto Machida is fighting Fabian Edwards, who's Leon Edwards' brother, who's 9-2. So that's Bellator.
That's so funny because Lyoto Machida was who I was thinking about during the first 2 rounds of that Thug Rose fight.
Yeah.
So I was like, geez, the only person enjoying this right now is Machida going, that's the way. That's right. You want him to boo you for a long time. And then at the very end, come up with something.
I don't think he's enjoying it either. Jan Blachowicz is fighting on Racic this week, which is a great fight. I think a lot of people don't know who these guys are, like the common guys.
Yeah.
It's a good fight. I mean, Racic just beat Thiago Santos, beat Anthony Smith. He lost to Oldemir. He knocked out Manoa, knocked out Devin Clark, knocked out a lot of guys.
Well, they're certainly giving this guy an opportunity to build up. I mean, to take a step up here because, Jan Blachowicz, you're talking about a name guy here, former champ, right? Now, this kid, this is his chance to show it because I'm not familiar with him. They kept saying his name. They said number 3. I'm like, who? He is? How? When did he fight to become number 3? And they're like, no, he's a superstar. He's been doing all these crazy wins. And I'm like, if you say so, I'm glad it's on a fight night.
He's legit good. And then on the other card, also on the card is Ian Cutelaba, who beat Devin Clark, lost to Dustin Jacoby, a split draw. He beat Khalil Roundtree. He is fighting against Ryan Spann, who's a guy that used to just go to boxing to watch his brother fight. And then now he's in the UFC. Guy hits fucking hard, but sometimes he gets guys hurt, rushes in, and then it gets knocked out. But he hurt Anthony Smith and he lost. He beat Misha. He lost to Johnny Walker when he almost had him out. Beat Sam Alvey, beat Nogueira. That should be a good fight. That should be a really good fight. And then Louis Smolka is fighting Davey Grant, who's a DJ from England. Also a good fighter. Caitlin Chukagan.
Is he really? Is that for real? Is he a DJ?
Yeah. Caitlin, she's the one who always grunts. Every time she throws a punch, she fucking grunts. She's fighting Amanda Rebus, who just fought she hasn't fought in a while. She's tough though. She's really tough. Versus
Caitlin, they've got her ranked number 1. She's the number 1 contender in women's flyweight, and they have her on the 3rd, 4th fight down on a fight night. That's strange.
But she fought for the belt and got murdered. Remember? She fought for the belt, got slammed on her head and fucking.
That's right.
Andrea Lee, who's this hot blonde from Texas.
Yeah, I like Andrea. I think you would like her a lot. She's all country and shit, Don.
Oh, yeah.
I think you would love her.
Yeah, Don, she could definitely, but she's got a boyfriend.
Who's she fighting for?
She's fighting for UFC. We're going over the UFC fights this Saturday.
What's her name?
Andrea Lee.
All right.
Yeah.
She's blonde, little blondie, wears a cowboy hat. She's cute, man. I think you would love her.
Oh, yeah. She would like Don, too.
Yeah, for sure.
She definitely has
any girl in a cowboy hat looks hot. You know that?
And then,
That's what, I used to go out. I'd always show up with so many different types of girls. Guys were like, they'd be like, Greg, what is your type? Anyway, I'm like, anyone that likes me, that's my type.
Michael Johnson's fighting, who he guy wins every fight until he loses. Like he's up every single fight, and then he just gets caught in a stupid submission. I hope he wins. I really do.
Coming off a loss, 20-17, 20 and this. Talk about a guy who's been around and just such potential. It seems like he never lives up to his own potential. This guy.
And then Angela Hill's fighting.
That 21-21 part,
Yeah.
Just like the girl did.
And then Angela Hill's fighting. Angela Hill, my favorite quote she ever said was like, in the Ultimate Fighter house. So we're talking about masturbation, and she says she does it until her fingers get wrinkly. Which I think is amazing. Come on, that's a long
You're soaking
time.
in it. Ooh.
Ah.
Woo.
You ever have a girl masturbate in front of you, Greg?
Of course.
Why?
Because I was high on coke and couldn't get hard. So I'm like, come on, do something. Give me a show here and help me out.
It wasn't to help her out. It was to help you out.
Yeah, give me something. And then I'm like, okay, I got it.
What about you, Don? You ever have a girl?
Absolutely, man. Absolutely.
Yeah. Never with a toy for me. Like always with fingers. I never had like the whole toy thing,
Well, I mean, they're not traveling with toys, so.
There was one girl, I'm not going to say her name. She was on a reality show that rhymes with Survivor back in the day. And she put on this like condom on me that like, it was like a vibrating condom. It had like a thing, like you press a button, it goes, like it's supposed to be better for her clit, which was like awesome. And then I realized I wasn't the first person to use it. And I'm like, I think terrible. I think I got some.
That's a not good. That's a gross.
Yeah,
she a very nasty. Who is a nasty person like this?
Why did you become?
I don't know. I was just doing like these are very not good.
Greg Frye, what's the crazy thing you ever did with a girl?
In there, but
Greg Frye, what's the crazy thing you ever did with a girl?
Crazy thing ever. I think I ate a pastrami sandwich out of her pussy. I didn't have any bread, so I just stuffed it in there. And I just, I was getting ready for a fight, and I needed some protein. So it was a 2 birds, 1 stone kind of pussy situation.
Pastrami sandwich out of her pussy.
A secret.
Use that horseradish mustard. She like that.
A little update on the Benzino Aaron Carter fight. Aaron Carter bailed out of the fight. So I told you about Benzino.
Yes.
Made that. So I guess the girl that was a transgender that he was trying to pick up, but there was maybe he said he wasn't, but he was. Anyway, she made a song about him now. And 50 Cent put it on his Instagram. It's about the transgender. You want to hear the song?
Sure.
So yeah.
What would this show be if we did it?
All right. So okay, here's the transgender song about. This is the girl.
He was all on I could show you the text. He was begging for help. Love it when it go clap. He be loving on his ass. I be blonde hair to my ass. It be silky as shit. Nigga, tell him that you love me. Quit hiding that shit. He be feeding me crabs. Why he gripping this ass? Nigga said I'm trying to trap him. Had to sit back and laugh. Since you wanna press one, tell him how you love it.
I think that demonstrates something that we've known for a long time, and that's rap just isn't that hard. Anybody can rap. It seems like anybody can do it. So
fucking Benzino no neck. That's what like so 50 Cent's having a field day with this. But Benzino is looking actually, to his credit, Benzino, he actually wrote that he said Aaron Carter bailed out of the fight. He's going through some things. I can call him a pussy, but I'm not going to. I hope you get healthy, my friend, which was nice of him. So he took the high road. So I think that.
After he put it in there. Yeah.
So
I could call you, a white bread racist, but I'm not going to.
Right. That's like starting with all due respect. Like, it doesn't matter if you say that first, if the next thing you say is horribly insulting.
Right.
Good point. It's a very good point.
Shit on somebody. You're just about to shit on them, you know?
Yeah, I mean, I could say this. I could. And then you say it, and they're like, so you said it. You just said it then.
So the Killer Gorilla is taking on Israel Adesanya that July 4th weekend for the fight. It should be a good fight. I don't know. I mean, I don't know if the Killer Gorilla is up to that level. It seems like Adesanya.
No, he's not. He's a good fighter, but he's not at Israel's level yet. No,
no kidding. That's
Israel's above everybody. You know, so far above. It's been a couple of years before he's challenged.
Yeah.
You know what's funny is the fact that Glover Teixeira is the champ in the light heavyweight division. I forgot that he'd won that title.
Yeah, he's like 50.
Yeah.
I thought I was watching like an old UFC or something. They're like, Glover Teixeira is trying to. I'm like, oh, what am I watching right now? I'm like,
UFC fighter. I mean, the guy's like 50. He turned.
I know. I forgot that he'd won the fucking title. I mean, Jesus. I was like, holy shit, this is current. That's right. He fucking won that shit.
Yeah, which is crazy.
Which
is crazy. Well,
that makes me think, Don, you need to come back. Absolutely.
Yeah. I was thinking the same thing. I wonder how I think get my fat ass in shape. Get down to 205.
Get it down there, buddy. Come on back. They need you. They were, we'll have you fight Cerrone. We'll have you fight Darren Elkins. He'll set you up with lots of.
By the way,
all these guys.
So BJ Penn is running for governor of Hawaii, and Tulsi Gabbard just endorsed him. I think he actually might win. BJ Penn's running for governor of Hawaii, and he just got endorsed.
I hope he does win.
I think he might win. I think he might win.
Who you get endorsed by?
Tulsi Gabbard.
Oh yeah, she's a sweetheart, boy. I wish she'd endorse me.
So she endorsed used vibrating condoms for use exclusively by mid-level comedians.
Oh, damn. Mid-level. Come on. All right. Well, so Greg, what do you have coming up?
Upper mid-level, upper mid-level, lower upper level.
Okay. Thank you, Greg. Thanks for the endorsement, I think. All right. Greg, what do you have coming up?
I don't know. I don't think I got anything not right now. Although I tell you this, I had my first real setback, not setback, my first real set performing again at the Ha last Saturday. And I got to tell you, man, it felt great. I only did about 12 minutes. It was all the cardiac story, and it quote unquote, it murdered. Luckily just that. But afterwards though, I was immediately like, okay, let's go home. That was it. I've done enough. So I had a blast out of there.
I don't know what you said, but it was funny.
I need a gallon of ice cream.
Okay, people, this Wednesday night, I am in the Hive in Wildomar, California. The Hive this Wednesday.
Of course you are. You're just a girl who can't say no.
Oh, this is a good club. It's actually a good club. It's Johnny Herrera. You know Johnny?
Yeah. Actually, that is a pretty good show. That's a good show.
And then Friday, I'm in Clovis at the Chico's Pizzeria. And then
I'd like to refer back to my previous song.
My wife lives there. My wife's family's from there. So I get to go home and see the grandparents and everything.
Okay, so is she coming with you?
Yeah, of course. And then so is the baby. And Sunday, I'm at the Laugh Factory in Hollywood. At Chocolate Sundays, Hollywood Laugh Factory on Chocolate Sundays. And Saturday at the Ha in North Hollywood. So come see me. Adam Hunter.
I'll try and get on that same show. I'm going to reach out to Terry, and hopefully I'll be on that show with you, buddy.
That'd be awesome. Don, what do you have coming up?
Let's see. I have the podcast, and then this Thursday, Stuart Wilson and Stuart was the producer of my old show, Predators Predictions. We have a 3 or 4 hour meeting with 9 people from Fight Pass up there in Vegas at the
nice
the facility, fight facility. So we're gonna see what we can do if I get a job with the UFC.
You should. 100%. You should be
Thank you.
ahead of all that. Well, thank you guys
Thank you.
so much. And have a great week, guys. Take care.
All right. Take care, bro.